Hey guys, it's Garry Dean, Rapid Ride Rehab. Holler at your boy if you need some body and paint, some detailing, metal fabrication, fiberglass work, all that stuff we do in Tampa, Florida. All right, so I'm shooting this video on the Inokraft Drizzle X, this guy here. Another one of those videos. I'm gonna be shooting a lot of those videos. I love this thing. I think it's amazing. I think it's incredibly valuable for a DIYer or a professional. It's incredibly versatile. I mean, for example, I got a plan to go paint my buddy's truck in Kentucky. And I was gonna have to mail all my goods, my guns, hoses. He has a decent compressor, but not one that I was really looking forward to using. We would have had to go on really, really slow. But with the Drizzle X, you are all in one. You don't need anything more than this and your materials. So I have the fender that I shot with the Drizzle Pro. If you remember the last series from a couple weeks ago, I painted this fender with the Drizzle Pro in base and clear, but we did it in white. We're not doing that today. What we're doing today is we are going to use this PPG shop line. This is a dark green Rivian color that I repaired a Rivian a little while back, so some extra paint I got laying around. PPG's shop line and shop line plus, and I believe all their other ones, they dilute 1-to-1 with reducer. So I'm going to go ahead and get the paint mixed up. I'm going to put you guys on this tripod and we're going to shoot this fender again. This time we're going to do it in a darker color so you can see the finish it lays down. But let me show you this first. Here's the problem. This fender has a couple of issues, which if you watch that series, if you didn't, go back and watch it. But that series, I got a bug in it and I had some water drip and caused some issues. Let me show you that real quick so that once everything's said and done, we get this thing painted and we start talking about it, you understand why there were flaws in it before. All right, so in this area you can see some paint, what looks like blisters, and they're all down in here. I'm not going to sand those out, so you're going to see those in the final finish. I tried to get this out too with some 600 grit. I'm not going to dig for it. It's going to bury that. So not a huge deal, but there are some issues, imperfections on that particular fender, which I don't mind. I'm actually going to show you guys how to cut and buff. Hold on. So my plan in this little series is start to finish. Basically, if we had any issues with this fender, we would need to prime or bodywork, prime, and then you go into your base coat and your clear coat. This particular case, if you get a car that you're just going to do a scuff and shoot, there's no body work, there's no primer involved generally, unless it's a spot primer. If you've got any kind of spots that were broken through, you then can prime that, smooth it over with 600, and then paint right on top of that. So with this particular situation, let's pretend we've got a vehicle and it's already, it's got some issues here and there, but you're trying to refresh the whole thing, or maybe you're trying to change the color. We're not doing body work, scuff and shoot. I have scuffed this fender with a gray Scotch-Brite. This is generally what you're going to use to scuff before you paint base coat, then clear coat. If you're scuffing, basically, if you're scuffing thicker coatings, you'd use the maroon. With base coat and clear coat, you want to use the gray Scotch-Brite. So here we are with the fender. Here I am over here. Let me go ahead and set you up where you can see my table and what I got going on. So I've got everything I need on that table right there. I'm going to use some inexpensive Speedo coat. I buy this because it's inexpensive and it actually works really well. It's just inexpensive. I use it around the shop for my demos and when I do test panels and that kind of thing, just like we're doing today. This is the Speedo coat SMR 135. I also have a couple different flavors of activator. I got very little bit of slow left. I also got some medium. Medium's good for up to, I want to say 90 degrees, 85, 90 degrees. Hold on, let me see what the temperature is today. We're right at 96 degrees, and we have 55% humidity. So we've got our DX. It's all clean from the last time. I got a couple of liners here. One's going to be for paint, one's going to be for the clear coat. This is the cup that the DX comes with. You notice it's graduated. So for example, well, I'll go ahead and use the clear coat as an example, even though we're not on clear coat yet. This actually dilutes. You can see all the information is right here on the back, or what you always want is the TDS sheet. The technical data sheet for every clear coat that you use should be on hand so that you can find all this information and you don't have to wonder or look it up online. So this is a 3-to-1 clear coat. What that means to you is that you pop your empty liner in the deal, okay? The liner's in there now. Then you go around here and you find the 4-to-1, or I'm sorry, 3-to-1, because that's where we're at. Most of your clears are either 4-to-1 or 2-to-1. This one happens to be a 3-to-1. So you would fill it up at 3-to-1. If you just need a little bit to do a fender, you will likely, I will go likely to the first one right there. And then when you fill it up to that one, the next one up connected to that same bar is for your activator. So 3 parts is the first one, and then the one above it to the right is the 4th part. So when it comes to, and it's about to rain, so I'm trying to make this video a little bit quick. I am outside. The reason I'm doing these videos outside, guys, and not in my paint bay, which is right around the corner, is because this is a DIY product that was built and designed and engineered for the DIYer, not necessarily the professional. Even though I do paint for a living, I'm showing you guys all these demos with this unit in a position that you'd be in as a DIYer, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm not using my fancy paint bay. So we're gonna do 1-to-1 with the paint. You generally won't find a 1-to-1 on your cups, any of them. What you're gonna do is basically 1 ounce to 1 ounce. So half of one and half of the other. So you basically take the ounces right here and you fill it up to wherever you need. In this case, I'm gonna put 2 ounces, no, I'm gonna put 1 ounce of paint in there, and then I'm gonna put 1 ounce, let's do 2. I'll do 2 ounces of paint because there's a 2 line right there. So, sit that bad boy down. Make sure when you sit it down that this hose is in its groove. Otherwise, this won't sit flat. So we're gonna do 1-to-1. We're gonna put 2 ounces. There we go. 2 ounces of paint in there. Clean that out a little bit. Always want to cover your paint right when you're done with it. Got to take care of your paint so it'll take care of you. So that's done. I've got some extra slow reducer here. I'm going to put 2 ounces of this in there. All right. Now we've got 4 ounces of paint mixed up. Do a little stir stick. Mix it up a little bit. Not a huge deal once you put it in this. Once you flip it over, it's going to mix itself anyway. So anyway, we got 1-to-1 here. Nice little mixed up paint. Okay. Cleanliness is very important in this situation. Here's the lid. You always want to put the lid on. Make sure you hear it snap and then lift it out. Now if it's full, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put all that weight on just the little snap on the top. But for intents and purposes of this video, you see how this top is snapped on? Okay, well that lives in there like that. Then the collet goes on the top. When you put this on, you want to make sure that it's smooth and it's not on an angle at all. I messed up in the second series on my daughter's car when we painted the whole car with the DX. I messed up because I didn't make sure this collet was secured down properly and even, not cross-threaded, because that potentially could cause a leak, which did for me. So anyway, make sure everything is tight. So now the paint is ready to go. I had to grab a extension cord. Now I did talk to, well, I am currently talking to Inokraft about more options for the DX. What I'd like to see, this is the 22 ounce cup. I did not want to bring one out here, but I want to see those 6.7 ounce cups that Inokraft also makes. I want to be able to adapt those to this because that's what I would use on a mobile job if I need to. But really, I'd rather have that for this. I mean, if you're painting one panel, those 6 ounce deals are perfect. Two panel, actually, you could probably get with 6 ounces of material. I mean, I got 4 in there. I bet you with 6 ounces, you could do two decent sized panels. But we're about to find that out. So as usual, obviously, it should be obvious, your personal protective equipment, PPE. So this is nothing fancy. It's just a 3M mask with some P100, I believe, filters for organic vapors or whatever the paint filters are. That's what I use. Make sure you get the right size too, because I wore a medium for a long time. This is actually a medium, but we're outside. But when I'm inside my paint bay, I wear a small. Mainly because I have, well, a small beard. So you want the cup, this guy, to seal so that you can breathe just fresh air, not the bad air that you're not supposed to breathe. So I actually use a small, but this is a medium. But make sure if you can smell the product that you're spraying through your mask, it's not sealed properly. That's the answer. All right, so I got an extension cord. I really, just two things I'd like to see. I'd like to see Inokraft offer the other cup systems, because they have a 13 ounce cup, 13 and a half, and a 6.7 ounce cup as well. I'd like to see available options for this pressure cup with this hose and this plate there. This for the DX. I would like to see the other options for the cup sizes for the DX. I also would not hate it if they gave us another 10 foot on the line. That would be awesome too. I am using a 25-foot extension cord right now, which is fine. Really, they can leave the plug, that's not a big deal, but I feel like having the other size cups accessible for this tool is amazing. All right, so what I like to do, oh yeah? Tell me why my equipment ain't working. Got her done. A little technical difficulty there. That was my GFCI was tripped, and I tried to trip it, wouldn't work. Now she's working great. I love how with the DX versus a regular house painter, when you squeeze this trigger, it immediately starts to flow, whereas the house sprayers have a delay. Perfecto! All right, I like the spray pattern to be as big as it can be, and then I turn it in just a little bit. I have been leaving this trigger 3 turns out, so all the way in, and then 1, 2, 3 turns out, and that seems to give me the fluid that I'm looking for. I do have the 1.0 tip in there because that's most commonly used for base coat, and then I also have the 1.3 right here, which is for clear coat. I am going to move my truck out of the way, so I'm getting overspray on it, and I'll bring you right back and we'll do the demo.